Yeah, the power of 24 hours. I mean, you know, we had a tough stay in New York City, and they played really well against us, and then we came out and got our offense going again. Pretty much up and down the lineup. Jason's was a big hit early. Of course, Addison's was also. The home runs, KB, up and down. I mean, they all did a wonderful job. Kyle was good. I was just wanted to be really careful coming off of 117. So I'm looking at right around 100 max, and then we failed to turn that double play or even get one out, which made it a little bit more difficult. But he did a great job. Kyle's pitched as well as anybody on this team right now. Yes, that's it. That's just what I was talking to PJ about. He should be fine tomorrow. That's what I'm hearing. So I'm anticipating to put his name in the lineup tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, center fielders tend to be that way, you know. But it truly was KB's ball, and we have to iron that out. Even the pop-up with Addison and KB. We need some voice amplification for outfielders.
Did he call it?
I think, yeah, that's what I heard. He did call it, but it was not able to, unaudibly. You know, they couldn't hear each other in the white noise of Wrigley Field.
How scary was that based on?
Well, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Like I said, we have to avoid that. It's when a player's camped, there's no reason to run a player off, i.e. The fly ball to left field and also the one to left central. And again, listen, it's aggressive. We made the plays. I'll take it. But I just mean down the road, you just don't want that to happen.
Do you think you would have stayed in the game if it was closer?
Yes, I do.
Joe, in a long season, obviously you're going to have some losing streaks. But how important was it to just stop it today and just get back on the right track?
Well, it's always good to keep them at a minimum. Again, you're right. You're going to have those moments. It's really to think you're not going to is really kind of skewed kind of thinking. It's going to happen. And it did. So you move on. You play today's game. You have a nice dinner. You come back and do it again tomorrow. We've got Johnny pitching tomorrow. That's kind of a nice thing. They have another left-hander. Try to figure out our lineup once again. And it was really good to get all those runs and win without Zobrist in the lineup. That was outstanding. That gives him pretty much a game and a half off. It's almost like 2 days off for him. So he should be nice and frisky tomorrow. And then we could rearrange the lineup based on the fact that he's back.
Joe, simulating action in the outfield during batting practice is almost impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's just a matter of doing it over and over again.
It is, and it's something you work on a lot. I mean, in spring training. Primarily, those two guys haven't played a lot together. That's another thing with the communication among outfielders that play often together as opposed to those that do not. It matters. It absolutely matters because it's pretty much just calling for it, and it's knowing the range of the other guy and how aggressive he is. There's all this little nuance to it that you do cover. We do cover. Albert's just an aggressive center fielder, that's why he's so darn good. So that's just something to be talked about. You can't necessarily go out there and keep hitting fly balls. They know, they got it, but we just have to be more verbal, loud when you make that call.
How is that impossible when you have 41,000 people and both guys are going full speed?
Yeah. Sometimes they yell at the same time, and that's the scariest part. Sometimes you got to just peek. Where is he? Peek. And again, you have to have a lot of confidence in your abilities, but there should be a little bit of a peek involved, especially when you're going like that. Center fielder always has priority. Don't get me wrong. Center fielder has the priority, but when it's that high and somebody's camped, that's another situation. You go through pop-up priorities in spring training every year. You talk about this every year ad nauseum, but it happens to every team during the course of the season. I just, for our purposes, would like it not to happen again, and so Davey's already addressing it.
Can you make a case that just given what Kyle did in his previous start and the consistency that he's about as good as any fifth starter?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even consider him that. This guy's just a good starting pitcher. It's a wonderful classic example of not having to throw 90-some miles an hour to be effective, and furthermore, be right-handed. Most of the time when you get a guy that's effective in the high 80s to low 90s, it's normally a left-handed pitcher with maybe a great changeup. He's got a great one from the right side. But it's not often you see that right-hander doing what he's doing right now. So give him credit. He's been spot on with his command. His fastball was a little jumpy today. I know you saw that in a lot of 90s, a lot of four-seamers, which is kind of nice that he's starting to incorporate that and getting them off that two-seam movement and the changeup. You got to like everything he's doing.
Joe, in those Twitter questions, we like to give you one.
Sure. hey, it's better than not beating the Reds, right? It's we've always normally done well against really good teams. When people say that kind of stuff, they have no idea what it takes to win a Major League Baseball game nightly. They have no concept, and I don't expect them to. You came out today, we had lost 4 in a row, day game after day game flight, as they did, and then you come on in, and your guys come out ready to play. That speaks loudly about that particular group. So, I mean, again, the group that wants to go there, wants to go to take a trip to negative town, it's just, believe me, it's not that easy. It's not that easy.
But with all due respect to the Reds,
Sure.
they are pretty beleaguered right now, and they just fired a pitching coach. They've had all kinds of.
It's not easy, man. I've been there. It's a very difficult moment to be in. I have a lot of respect for Brian and their coaching staff and the organization. Their team on the field is really good. You saw them try to mount a comeback. The team on the field is outstanding. Obviously, their concerns are probably more rooted in pitching, but they can hit. And that, you go through Cozart, Suarez, Votto, Bruce, Duvall, Phillips, et cetera. That's firm. Anywhere, that's firm. That's American League East firm. That's National League Central firm. That's firm. So don't sell them short either.
Immediate results from J.A. in the 6th hole.
Nice. He came out and he got the line drive in the gap. Again, for those that don't understand why actually I didn't have a challenge left, but the umpires did the right thing. And you do that because you ask your players to run hard to first base. And then if you do not support them, why would you ever run hard to first base? That's twice this year that's happened. Also, the ancillary benefits are that their pitcher had to throw more pitches. Always looking at the number they pitched 2 days ago, 2 2/3, 40. You just want to pile up number of pitches thrown that can impact you in a positive way the next day. So all that stuff matters, and that's why you do it.
With some of your starting pitchers going through things, I mean, how great is it to see Kyle do this consistently?
It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful, and again, it's so fun to watch from the side because you see the reaction to the hitter, by the hitter. When he makes a pitch that they take that they know is a strike, but there's not a whole lot they could have done with it. The late swinging foul balls, the uncertainty of what the pitch is going to be. He's doing a great job of mixing it up, varying speeds obviously, and hitting his spots. I don't think he could pitch any better than he is right now.
Joe,
Yes, sir.
5 and 9 since Fowler's been gone.
Yeah.
What grade would you give the leadoff position?
Fantastic, actually. Zobrist has been really good. He's been probably equally as good as Dexter had been. The difference would be that by having to utilize Zobrist there, you don't have him to utilize elsewhere, which can impact the lineup. So it gives Zoe a lot of credit as a leadoff hitter. He's been fabulous, and he does that job extremely well. But again, when you have to spot him there, then you can't spot him in other spots in the lineup where he could be even more productive.